The Fed is having an emergency meeting on Monday, and this all has to do with Silicon Valley Bank. We're still waiting on Ripple Labs' official statement regarding their exposure to Silicon Valley Bank. We're expecting that during business hours on Monday. USDC has 3.3 billion exposure to Silicon Valley Bank, which has a lot of us out there asking who else has exposure. Let's start it off with the heat map, but the rumors right now are that Ripple Labs has exposure to Silicon Valley Bank. That is why XRP is down 3% last 24 hours. Now, mind you, those are just rumors. ETH sitting at 1493, getting close to 1500, Bitcoin 20,492. Ripple Labs, here we go, got a tweet here. By the way, you probably won't or can't answer, but how much of a hit is Ripple taking? This all has to do with Silicon Valley Bank. David, Joel Cat Schwartz says, Ripple will issue a statement shortly. I can't say anything until they do. I've got Ripple up here on Twitter. I released some of these stories earlier on Twitter because it's faster than videos. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I will have that linked in the description below. But we can scroll through Ripple's posts and we can see there is not one update regarding Silicon Valley Bank. Standard procedure will be to wait until Monday during normal business hours. Expect Monday to be a massive day with Jerome Powell and the Fed, Silicon Valley Bank, Ripple announcing how much exposure they have. Let's continue. FDIC bidding for Silicon Valley Bank is in progress report. The FDIC has reportedly started an auction process on late Saturday for Silicon Valley Bank. Bids are open for just a few hours. The US FDIC started an auction process on March 11th. Bloomberg reported citing unnamed sources. Bids are allegedly open for just a few hours before the process closed. According to Bloomberg sources, the FDIC is seeking a buyer for the California bank over the weekend, ahead of the market's open on March 13th. However, a final decision has not been made and a deal may not be reached. It is big for us to reach a resolution before business hours on Monday because this could pull the stock and crypto markets down hard if Silicon Valley Bank falls. Silicon Valley Bank CEO cashed out shares and paid bonuses just before the collapse. Oh yes, you think FTX and Alex Mashinsky and Do Kwon and all those guys were the only ones with tricks up their sleeves? According to media reports, Silicon Valley Bank paid annual bonuses to all eligible employees while its CEO cashed out stock options before the collapse. Listen to these numbers and tell me how pissed you are in the comments below. CEO Greg Becker sold $2.7 million worth of bank stocks on February 27th. Sales were part of a 105(b)(1) program that Becker filed. Another SEC filing showed that Becker sold another $1.1 million in stocks in January to cover the tax liability. Per the findings, the CEO mostly sold stock between $285 and $302. Listen to this, though. Meanwhile, a CNBC report said top executives at the embattled bank, including the CEO, sold shares worth $4.5 million before its collapse. So they knew the collapse was coming and they cashed out. One of those out there has to deal with Circle and USDC. USDC hits all-time low as investors pull out funds from the stablecoin. Got as low as 87.7 cents to the dollar for USDC market cap. Massive retraction. Here is the right now price action for USDC, and you can see still not back up to that peg, but it is getting closer. Let's take a swing on over to market cap, and it looks like the exact same thing here up on the screen. Market cap started at 43.5 billion, and then with the news of exposure of 3.3 billion, sunk almost $9 billion in total from that. Has since clawed its way back to just over $39 billion. Now we got the feds that are doing an emergency meeting on Monday about Silicon Valley Bank. According to a statement released by the Fed, it will review and determine the advance and discount rates to be charged by the Federal Reserve banks during this meeting. And remember, CPI data is the next day. This is setting up for one nasty mess for the crypto and stock markets. U.S. Federal Reserve governors to hold closed-door meetings on Monday. The meetings are from 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time and will primarily review and determine the advance and discount rates to be charged by Federal Reserve banks, the Fed said in the statement. The central bank offered no further details, but the move follows Friday's collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, which is the biggest failure since the 2008 financial crisis. Now, my thinking with Ripple Labs is this. They're waiting till Monday to talk about exposure, hoping that they find a buyer for Silicon Valley Bank first. Imagine Ripple Labs saying this. We've got X billion in exposure, but it's okay because we found a buyer, we'll be good to go. And then imagine this story. We have X billion in exposure and we still don't have a buyer. That's my belief on why Ripple Labs is waiting until Monday. Monday's got the Fed's meeting. Oh my gosh, emergency meeting. Biggest financial collapse since 2008. On Tuesday in the morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time is CPI data. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. We will be bringing that live. We're going to have the crypto market action going. We're going to be talking about the markets before the announcement, once that data is released, and the market's reaction once they digest the information. Now, my life outside of crypto is way less stressful and way less hectic. I do a lot of fun stuff, hiking, car camping, working out, and stuff like that. That's this channel right here. Check it out. Support the channel by giving me a free sub. You want crypto and Web3 action because your blood pressure can handle it? Boom, that's this video right here. Until more news breaks, I'm going to be covering it. You cool cats, have a great rest of your day.